on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day today. Um, Hoping we are actually live right now. We are trying some new software, so hopefully everything's working out. We'd love to have you let us know if you can hear us, you can see us, and everything's working properly. Making a comment, I'd greatly appreciate it. Before we continue talking and nobody's there, let me see here. The YouTubes have not started yet. There we are. Katie says we're here. So if anybody's there, if you don't mind letting us know if you can hear us, see us, we'd love to chat with you. So if you're not familiar, we've had the Coffee and the Mods in the past. It's been the moderators of the Landscape Business Owners Facebook group. And, oh, there we go. Katie can hear us. It's been the moderators of the Facebook Landscape Business Owners Facebook group, and we kind of share our thoughts, our opinions on different things that have happened in the Facebook group. So we kind of want to open it up a little bit more. We want to invite you guys to hop in, ask us questions, and pick our brains. That's what this whole group is about. We love helping people, and I'm joined tonight by Alec Naylor of Nailerscapes. He's out of Utah. How you doing, Alec?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, good. Glad to have you on. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, of course, man. It's been a crazy 24 hours out here. We got some snow finally.
Good, good.
But yeah,
Nice.
I'm glad to be here.
No, I think we said we're gonna get some more your snow. I guess should be here Monday night to Tuesday. I guess so. Hopefully we get some more. But
Honestly, it's about time, right? Like January's almost over.
I know it's been
So
bad. My dad's like the other day. He's like, we just need to go back to get started. And, wish it was spring. Get going again. So
right.
it'd be nice. Looks like Facebook we're good. Somebody joined in
Awesome.
there. What's going on, Charles? Appreciate you joining us.
There you go.
All right. So Alec, you have anything you've seen in the Facebook group here lately that you want to talk about? Share.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on here, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
So it's been a minute, and there's been so many different posts about everything. Something I did want to bring up and kind of talk about is which I actually just posted it in the business group is a couple of ways that a couple of things that I've done in my business that has made me more money and created me more time, all without hiring a special person or outsourcing anything on my end. So we've all been in that place before as business owners where there's sometimes when we'd be coming home at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, right? Walking through the door, kids are in bed or spouses, waiting for us to be home. And it was terrible. It sucked. So something that I started doing was trying to find a certain employee. I called it my unicorn. I was trying to find a unicorn for my business, and it just didn't work. So I kept hiring guys, and it never came to fruition. So I finally changed it up last year, and I started working towards my existing employees' strengths, right? So and also too, I started realizing that I had a lot more on my plate as a business owner that wasn't just doing the work or doing the sales, right? There's a lot of little things I did as a business owner on a weekly basis or a daily basis that I could have stopped. So one of those things was a morning routine. All right, was showing getting started for the day on the job site. I thought I had to be there, and I didn't. It turns out I don't. They don't want me there. My guys would rather start their day without me jumping down their throat and doing everything else. So Morning routine. Set a morning routine to where your employees or your team can actually get started in the morning. I gave my guys keys to the shop, and of course we use CRM, for all of our scheduling. So I'm able to write everything down in my office. So I'm able to sit in my office at home and type everything out, and they can pull it up first thing in the morning, and they can grab what they need to from the shop, and they can go to the job, and they can get started. That's allowed me to take my kids to school every morning. And that also allows me to be in the office working on quotes and, scheduling out even further into the week. And then with that, my next tip would be not being there at the end of the day. Okay. Everybody knows how to clean up. Our parents have taught us how to clean our rooms, since we were little kids. All right. Now, cleaning up a job site and going home, I think, is exactly the same thing. I thought I had to be there to talk with the homeowner. I thought I had to be there to make sure everything was done and crossed off the checklist. And you don't have to. So, I started again giving my guys a checklist, for the end of the day. I let my guys speak to my clients because they talk to them anyway throughout the day. So I figured, what's the harm in at the end of the day knocking on the door and asking our clients if they have any questions or concerns. Walk around the yard, they can collect all those questions and concerns, and they can send them to me, so I can be aware of it for the next day. So right there, just in the morning and in the afternoon, I've saved 4 hours. I mean, including drive time every day.
Yeah.
So that 2 hours in the afternoon, it's either I can be out doing quotes, or I can come home early and finish up on some of my paperwork and hang out the rest of the night with my kids.
How's that feel to do that?
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. We started doing the Hello Fresh box for 3 times a week. And I didn't do it to be healthy or save money, because it's expensive. But I did it to cook with my kids, to be at home with them and cook with them.
Yeah.
It was, worth it. I love it.
That freedom of just being able to know that your guys are able to do what you need them to do, it's awesome. When you get that feeling, it's like, sweet, I don't have to do this. And that's the part of why you be an owner, is have that freedom. You always dreamed of being able to let your guys go, but we get so controlling that we don't want to let it go. And I get it. It's hard. Don't get me wrong, but you have
exactly.
To we've all made mistakes.
And it's one of those things too, man. I don't know what I was holding on to. Like, what was I holding on to? What was I gonna do? And I really think that the biggest thing was just the losing the control over the jobs. Mm-hmm. So we think that we have to have our hand in every little thing for that job to be okay, and it's understandable, because a lot of guys that start their own business, it's because they were screwed over by a boss, or they've been screwed over by employees before. I tell some guys that I've only known guys for like a month, and I'll give them the key to the shop. And some people tell me, they're like, well, what happens if they steal it? I'm like, dude, I have their social security number. I know what car they drive. I have a camera down at the shop. Okay. And my whole thing was, I finally realized, like, I can buy more stuff. I can't buy more time with my kids. I can't buy more time to take my kids to school. Yep. I can buy more stuff. If somebody wants to go into my shop and ransack it and take everything they want, and it's just what it is. I can buy more.
Yeah. So Alec, we had somebody, actually I posted back up there. Somebody asked a question. Any advice on how to get the first couple of guys, especially in seasonal and in a non-snow market?
Non-snow market. Non-snow, that would be sweet. Non-snow market is a lot easier.
Yeah.
You go first, Scott. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot of different avenues, and we actually talked a little bit about hiring in our Million Dollar Academy at our live Q&A the other night on how some people are actually, some of the things they're using, and a lot of people are, well, not a lot, but some of the members are using, oh shoot, slipped my mind. Uh, what's the, not, oh,
Indeed.
Indeed, yes. Sorry, brain fart there. COVID brain. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, they're using Indeed, and so that's how they're kind of seeking out people. And you have to look at it like how you would seek out customers. You can't just go post like just a boring job description or some boring thing that we're hiring landscape laborers or whatever you're hiring for. You need to jazz it up a little bit, make it enticing. Nobody wants to come and work for somebody that's boring or something. So you have to just have to like you're looking for customers. Put some kind of ad out there that's going to invite people, and just you can put it on Indeed, you can do it Facebook. I've seen people doing Craigslist, and references from your own people, because your own people are going to want to have the same type of people typically working with them, so they're not going to want to have slackers working with them. So I think references are a huge thing, and it's to me it's a little bit easier when it's non-snow market, because if you can keep people year round. Somebody
Yeah.
just said, sorry.
Yeah.
Things are popping up here. What's your thoughts here?
So, I'm going to take a different approach on the question of finding guys. I think most people know, posting on Indeed and stuff like that. I'm going to take the question as a little bit different and think of it as how do I get my first employee and get them on the right track to do these things that we're talking about. Job descriptions. Hey, the job descriptions are very important. Also, too, it's kind of it's a marathon. Okay, these things aren't a sprint. It's when you first start hiring employees, they're going to be helpers. Okay, they're going to be helpers, and what you're going to be able to do is have them with you on the jobs, and you're going to be able to teach them some things. But say if you get onto a job site where you have to go through and pull all the weeds, okay, you're going to have that helper, even if he's only been with you for a week. I highly suggest, if you're not going to have them drive yet a truck, that you have them drive to the job site. Okay, because then they can have their vehicle on site. Because if you, as an owner, need to leave, they still need a vehicle to be able to go use the restroom or go get lunch or things like that. But if you're on a job site with a brand new helper and you're pulling weeds, you as a business owner don't need to be sitting there pulling weeds. You can step away you can get to the job in the morning, you can get them started, you can leave for 6 hours, you wrap your way back around to the job site, and then just at the end of the day, you can end it. Okay? So you got to start. Like I said, it's, at this point, I'm not at the start of the marathon with my business. I'm closer towards the middle. All right? So that's where I don't have to be there in the mornings to allow my employees to get a key to the truck and, do those things. It's just how it is. Okay? So, if you have a helper, bring them on, have them do some, the mundane tasks that you're doing every day. Even have a couple of guys. Just, get a job description and get checklists for the day and for the specific jobs that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And be able to have them follow it. And honestly, to tell you the truth, man, you're going to go through so many employees when you're first trying to figure this stuff out, and you're going to have some good ones right now that are going to slip through the cracks because you as a business owner can't handle it. You don't have the right things in place. I have a couple of guys that used to work for me. I call them the Great White Buffaloes. That they were perfect employees, and I just wasn't there at that level yet as an owner to take advantage of that and utilize them in the way that I should have. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go through a lot of guys, but yeah, checklist, job descriptions, trust. We have insurance for a reason.
So I think they added on to the question. Sorry, it just says Facebook user, so I apologize. It's not the same person.
Okay.
The question would be, how much are you guys starting? I guess how much you guys start to get good guys? I'm assuming pay wise. I'm assuming is what they're looking for.
Hmm. Do we want to talk about pay this week?
Well, I mean, it depends. Well, yeah, I don't know if we want to go
Yeah.
into how it went into the Facebook group, but
No.
I'll say we're here in Northwest Indiana. We have guys that are starting off at 18. Well, we got some guys that are doing 20 to 25 bucks an hour.
Yeah.
But of course the higher guys have been around for a while and everything. But
Yeah. It's all
unfortunately
about.
nobody wants it. I can go. Well, I had to explain this to my dad because my dad was paying some guys like 12 bucks an hour, 13 bucks an hour. I'm like, they can go to the local Costco down here and get union benefits and make 13 bucks an hour and push carts all day. Here they have to come dig holes and do
Yeah.
use a pickaxe. You're not
Yeah.
going to get anybody. So we had to raise our rates.
Yeah. So I mean, it honestly just depends on. You need to know your numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what to start guys at.
Yeah.
If you don't know your numbers, it's kind of a mundane point because we're going to sit here and tell them 16, 17, $18 an hour, and their head's going to explode because they can't fathom it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my guys, we use the estimated hours to bid all of our jobs. I make a specific percentage on overhead profit that they, for every hour they work, whatever it is. But, pay them what you can.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people always forget too that, I pay my guys well and I treat them really well and I do a lot of things for them, but I live within my means. I live in a 1,000 square foot house. I could go out and buy a fancy new house, and fancy new trucks, but the amount of money that it takes to do that, I'd have to sacrifice somewhere, and I don't want that sacrifice to be my employees.
Yeah. Well, and it goes beyond pay too. You got to look at benefits and everything
Yeah.
we're giving these people. Some like we've had a couple foremans that drive trucks home. They drive their truck. So there's other things too. That and culture. Culture is a huge one. We had guys that our longest guy was with us for a little over 17 years, and he was making like 13 something an hour. He just left a year ago because he was leaving. He's going down, moving to Texas or something. So he just had to leave. But
Yeah.
the culture is what kept us. We joked around, had a good time, and that's what kept people here. So
Yeah.
it's beyond pay too. You gotta consider those type of things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. And I made a lot of mistakes too with culture, which I actually want to save that for another week.
Okay.
I think that's something that we can bring up as a whole other topic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hand everything out at once, but pay your guys well, man. Pay them well. Make sure they treat them how you would like to be treated. Okay, not how you were treated. Don't treat them how you were treated. Treat them how you would like to be treated. Just pay them well.
Yeah. So Sean here again, with the hiring question. I'm in a 1,000 square foot house too. I'm just really worried about keeping people employed when the majority of my business is maintenance, and we stop about November and don't pick up until March. Yeah, seasonal stuff's hard. It is very hard.
Seasonal is, yeah.
Yeah. When you have to lay them off, it's part of the thing. And I've heard people giving bonuses, to get people to come back the following year. I've heard people try to pick up other types of work in the wintertime. I have a buddy here in Indiana because they do, we let people go in the fall. He works on flipping houses, like simple things like painting and hardwood floors and just little things, and that's just the way he keeps people. I've heard other people do junk removal. So if there's other things you guys can do that can help keep people all year round, maybe consider doing that too.
Yeah. I know your numbers and charge accordingly and save your money. You gotta save it, man. And it's hard. I know it's hard, but if we really every season, how many companies are sitting there looking at their are looking at their financial statements, and it shows that they have $50,000 to $60,000 in net profit that they made that year, and then they look at their bank account and it's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously there's other things that could lead to that, but save your money. You can, for a rainy day. Find something to do during the winter. And I know it's hard. Like Scott said, flipping houses. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're not going to go out and buy a house right now and flip it, Sean.
Yeah.
But
Side
fencing, building shelving in garages. Find a weird niche that you could latch onto and do it. Or snow removal, obviously, but snow removal sucks. I just got done doing that the last 24 hours. But, all these companies, a lot of these companies that you see that keep their employees over the winter, especially in seasonal years, one, they probably have visa workers. Okay, they come up during the summer and they get all the work done. All right, and then they go home. Two, they charge enough during the summer months to cover their overhead during the winter, and that overhead includes a base pay for their employees. Guys, I know a lot of guys that are paying guys, like, I'll give you a minimum of 20 hours a week during the winter. So they come into the shop for 20 hours a week and they do certain tasks around there, and then they'll go the other 20 hours a week and work for somebody else. And they'll go and find it, okay? Because you can even hook them up with a couple of jobs like that. Somebody's in another industry that needs some help. That's always been a good one. They, like I said, they know their numbers and they make enough money to be able to handle that. So charge enough. Make sure you're including your off months. You got, what is it, Scott? We were just talking about it with my budget the other day, where I set my budget for 10 months out of the year, but I set it for the whole year gross what I want to make.
Yeah.
Well, and I also include my, January and February. I include those 2 months in that overhead so that all my bills are taken care of. And part of that overhead is employees.
Yeah.
So
Sean added on. He said, "Yeah, I could flip, but the capital required is tough. Yeah, no snow, so that's not happening. I love to do the base pay per year round. That is exactly what I do for myself, but worried about the guys taking advantage and just leaving again in the spring. Yeah, there's definitely a chance, but I wouldn't give it to them until they come back and they stay. You give them whatever, they have to stay 2 weeks before you give them that bonus. You don't have to go out and necessarily do flip a house, but that was just kind of an example. But I know there's one guy that builds ponds up in Minnesota. He has his pond business he does during the summertime. In winter times, he paints houses. He goes, sells painting. So
yeah,
just, if you have a handyman's type of service, you could do that kind of things. Stuff that doesn't cost a whole lot, to really get into. Maybe look into that type of thing if your season's short.
All right. What was the comment against Scott? Can you read that to me?
Yeah, he says, I could flip, but the capital required is tough. No snow, so that's not happening. I'd love to do the base pay year-round, which is exactly what I do for myself, but worried about guys taking advantage and just leaving again in the spring.
So. You need new guys. If you're worried about them taking advantage of you, then that's bad company culture, and it's not going to work. And you're going to keep cycling through that until you think you find somebody that you trust. Okay? It doesn't work like that, man.
Yeah, definitely sit down and talk to the guys and explain your situation and talk to them too. Find out what they need and what their minimums are to keep. Because we lay people off here in Indiana. We lay guys off and they only work 4 days a week. And we lay other people off completely and they have to go on unemployment and come back next spring. It is tough. There's always a chance we lose somebody, but you can do so much. You have to look at out for your own business too. You can't always stress about them. Don't get me wrong. I want to take care of my guys. I want to do whatever I can for them, but again, it's your business, it's your livelihood, so you have to look out for yourself too. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. No, my thought is on company culture. I don't know.
Uh,
Since I built it this year, my guys, they're ride or die.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If I don't eat, they don't eat. If they, you know, if I'm down, they're down. You know, if they're down, I'm down. If you, I worried about it for the longest time, man. You're always looking over your shoulder, making sure your employees are doing the right thing to make you money and they're not screwing you over. It's not human nature to screw you over. Nobody. It's just you change your mindset on it. Um, just trust your team, man. I stop calling them employees. It's your team. You got to build a team. You got to invite them over to the barbecues. Invite them to the birthday parties. It was just the other day, my daughter turned 9, and my employee showed up with gifts for her, just out of the blue. He didn't even call me or tell me or anything else. I didn't tell him it was her birthday. I mean, we talked about it, but it's just showed up with gifts. So, I mean, if you got an employee with kids, send them out to an amusement park and flip the bill, or things like that, man. It's just give them an extra. When school's coming up next fall, go hand them an extra $100 gift card to one of the school places, Old Navy or something like that, to have them go buy some backpacks. Things like that. Just take care of your guys and build it up. So you want to get to the point where you're not calling them employees anymore, but you're calling them your team, and you're treating them, it's like family. Yeah. That's what it is.
So I was thinking about this too the other day. One of the things that I think that helped our business was, we have our vision of how we want our business to run as our owner, but it's our vision. It's not their vision. It's not the employees' visions. So you need to explain to them, why they need to be working hard and maintaining their numbers and everything. Because if they don't understand why, like, you can explain, hey, the business is, when the business gets going, there's gonna be opportunities for you to move up, because I'm gonna need supervisors, I'm gonna need managers, whatever you want to call them, foremen. You're gonna be able to move up. But in order to do this, we need to get to this point, and explain to them. And I'm a big fan of showing numbers. I know there's some, we can go back and forth on this, I know in the Facebook group, but I'm a fan of showing numbers. I like for them to see, I may not show them my pay, but I'm going to show them, some basic numbers, and have them and go through like a little class so they understand, here's where we're at, here's where we need to be. If you want to be able to move up, get, bonuses or whatever, here's where we need to be. So kind of doing that, I think, is a big help.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I show my numbers. Mm-hmm. My guys know exactly. My guys know the price of every job we do. Mm-hmm. They've been on jobs where I've walked away with, $4,000, $5,000 in a day. And I've been on jobs with them where we've walked away breaking even. Yeah. And they know, and I tell them. And it's just what it is. My number's no secret. I don't care. It's not I'm not Steve Jobs with the next iPhone 15 that's gonna, if it leaks, I'm gonna lose billions of dollars. It's not that important. Your stuff isn't that important. It's just numbers, man. Yeah. And I started doing the per job bonuses. Per job bonuses has been really awesome for us, because then it puts everything in perspective, and it holds me accountable as an owner to make sure I'm estimating my jobs correctly with production hours. And so if we come in on a job and we get it finished within a specific amount of hours, then they get a job bonus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it pays out the next month. And so my guys can walk away making over $20-something an hour, at the end of it all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's, it's just not, and I'm able to do those things because I started trusting. It's so funny, just the domino effect of every decision you make as a business owner. And it's so hard to describe, because everybody's like, well, what do you do? Like, where do I start? What do I do? And it's hard, because it's just, everything it's circular. And so that's why I love so much what you guys did with the academy. is you turn the green growth method into that circle, because it's never ending. Once you get done with a certain section, okay. So if you're up here with sorry, I'm trying to get this on the screen right. So if you're up here with employees, okay, if that's the thing that you need to start with, then start with your employees, okay. Then down here, know your numbers. If you need to start with know your numbers, then you can know your numbers. Or marketing. If you need to do marketing, then go ahead and start here with your marketing. But then the nice thing is guess what? It's always going to wrap back around over to employees.
Yep.
So which means that it's never ending. And it's constantly all the way through, and it's going to stay that way for the rest of the time as you own a business.
Yeah, like
so it's just a domino effect. It's just a domino effect of how things fall in place. And like I said at the beginning of this whole thing was letting my guys do their thing on the job site. Okay, and me leaving or me being at home early, you know what that's done for my business? Not only do I get to be with my family and my kids, but I get to be in the office creating procedures to make me more money in the long run.
Yep.
So not only am I saving time and hanging out with my family more, but I'm also able to work on my business and not in it, which then has that domino effect of, a year down the line, it's going to be different. So it's a huge domino effect of everything you can make decisions with. And I think I saw a comment on there and finding good employees is hard, right? I don't know. I've changed my decision on that. There's some guys.
That's it.
Oh,
that's another one that popped up.
Okay, so finding employees is hard. Not really. There's a lot of people out there, man, that are out there cycling through jobs that just haven't been treated right as an employee. Maybe, they can come to you and realize that you can treat them right. The guys that I have that are, those ride or die, okay, it's because I treat them right. And if I looked at their past and their past employers, okay, they're going to say shitty things about them because if they treated them bad. So be the change, man. If you think guys want to work, why would they call you if they didn't want to come in and work or learn something? People want to learn things. It's human nature to have that thirst for learning something new and doing good things. So you as a business owner need to nurture that and help it grow and be there.
Jason Guyman said treat them like humans, and he also pointed out Extreme Ownership book is a good book about this. Yeah, it's an awesome book. I really encourage you to have like your team members, team leaders read that book, Extreme Ownership. It's awesome. I'm actually doing the second part of it right now, the dichotomy, I can't even say that, of leadership by that same author, and it's an awesome book. So
Extreme Ownership, is that Jocko?
Yeah.
The big muscly dude on Rogan.
Yeah.
No, I've heard. I have that book in my lineup to listen to it, but yeah, it is. You just treat people right. It's what it is.
How do you handle equipment damages from bad attitude, like throwing equipment and breaking it, or company trucks? Well, you can't have that. That's not acceptable behavior. Like you can't keep that around. You can give them a warning and start right. To me, if you're having that kind of issue, you need to look at yourself and how you're hiring people and the kind of people you're hiring first off, and then if you're having that issue, you need to start writing people up. You need to have an employee handbook that talks about this type of thing, have write-up forms, because if it comes time to get rid of that person, you have all these write-up forms, and they've they signed it saying that yes, they did this and whatever. It's so much easier to get rid of that person. You don't have to worry about stressing about trying to get rid of that person because they damage your property. Like you can't have that. Like I get everybody gets mad every once in a while, but you can't have that.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
First off, you can't make them pay for it.
No.
Things like that. You can't take it out of their paycheck. I don't even want to get on another one of those tangents. I don't think I've ever had anybody break something from bad attitude. I've been doing this for 10, 11 years now.
Unfortunately, we have. Yeah.
So I don't. I don't know. I'm not the person to be talking to about this, but yeah, like Scott said, write them up, man. I mean, let's have procedures. So I don't like to use I put those ones down as, the kind of on the negative side of things of, I hate having to discipline people and things like that, but it's part of being a business owner is to do those things.
Actually, I don't think it's still on our blog. On our Millionaire Landscaper blog, we had an article Katie wrote about $100 shovel because they think, it's just $20 for shovel. It's not $20. Time they run and get it and all this and all the BS that goes with it. It's like $100 shovel. So you have to explain that to people, about breaking equipment and trucks, how it not only hurts you as the owner, but it's hurting them, because if you have to keep buying shovels and buying doing truck repairs, they're not going to get a bonus. So
yeah,
if I'm not making a profit, you're not making a profit.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing too. I was actually going to set up a bonus this season for my guys that broken equipment is going to come out of that. So you set it up for $2,000 or $3,000 every year, and every piece of equipment gets broken. That bonus, it comes out of that bonus. So if they break $2,000 worth of equipment or tools, then they only have $1,000 left of that bonus to split in between everybody.
Yeah.
So it's something where you got to have the incentive of keeping everybody accountable and making sure everybody's doing the right things with the equipment and stuff like that. But
let's see, somebody wrote in. Sorry, I'm trying to find it here again. Let's see. With all the different companies out there promoting their various algorithm methods, I was just curious to know if you guys were able to suggest one that would help me establish online credibility in my eyes of my customers. What are some of the basic marketing platforms and methods to get newcomers started?
Instagram. Okay, look, I can't scream this enough into the camera. Okay, look, we all have phones. See that? Look, see that right there? There's a camera. Okay, you take it out to the job site, you stick it in your face like this, and you talk into it, and you post it to Instagram, and you post it to Facebook. It's free. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Do you think who are the bigger? I don't even know who the big companies in landscaping are because I don't even pay attention to them. What is it? What do you guys keep saying? These Brightview, Sense. Okay, so again, they have a big corporate structure and a big corporate way of doing things. Okay, but it's way too Walmart-y for me. All right, you as a business owner can take out your phone, you can record yourself on a job site. You can post it to Instagram and Facebook. Then, when you hand somebody a quote for $25,000, they're going to Google you. They're going to Google your company, and they're going to see that video, and it's going to build trust with your customers and your clients so they hire you. Okay? If you're out there handing out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 quotes, and you don't have videos like that online, and you're not a giant corporation like Brightview or some of these other big companies, okay, you're not going to get the job. That's just all there is to it. And there's going to be guys on here that hop on here and be like, oh, I'll go get the job. I don't care. It's a new day and age. If you're a company that's up and coming right now, okay, you need to be able to show yourself it's different. And, maybe you're an anomaly in the market somewhere in the United States, okay? But 90% of the guys that are on here just shoot the damn video. It's free. You have to pay anything for it, man. And, I'm not going to pay for Facebook anymore. You talk about these algorithms, okay? I think they're trash. I'm a landscaper. I'm not going to figure out algorithms. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and guess. I'm not going to do it, okay? You can hop online. You can use a couple of hashtags so people can find you. It's free. Yeah. If I get one more person talking to me about a $5,000 website or, I'll do your Facebook ads for another $1,500 a month, get bent. Like, I'm done. You don't know the algorithm more than I do. Do you work for Facebook? Do you golf with Mark Zuckerberg? Okay. Do you know the exact things of what's going to make it tick? It's changing constantly. It's always changing. And if there's a reason for it, because it's a business. Do you think Facebook, if you put out Facebook ads and they were super successful, I mean, Facebook has to keep things changing, so you keep spending more money on ads.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
I'd say just stick to the main social media things. I wouldn't get crazy with anything, especially if you're getting started. Do the free ones, like you said, Instagram. You do Facebook Lives. Show your jobs. Just show them like simple things like how you're installing your base of your pavers and you know whatever,
Yeah.
how you're just grading the yard, whatever it is. Get out there and show people. Do those simple things. That's going to get you out there. I would definitely encourage you to have some kind of website of some sort. Even if it's just getting started on Google My Business, get out there and get on Google My Business. It's free. Um, you can do a lot with that. You can go in there and post little topics here and there, and that's going to help boost
Yeah.
your rankings and stuff. So
Wix.
networking.
I used Wix for my website,
Yeah.
and it was easy. And I spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks on it, and I got to go in and I got to hire somebody to come through and keep it updated. I'm not even going to hire somebody because they make it so simple for me to drag and drop photos and to change some things up. I honestly, unless you're making over $1 million or $1.5 million a year, hiring somebody to do your website and your social media stuff is absolutely ludicrous, I think.
You can also get out there and just start networking. That's honestly one of the biggest things. Get out there, talk to people, get part of or join different groups. This Chamber of Commerce. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews on that one, but like gardening clubs, pond societies, whatever that get out there, get your name out there. Just start introducing yourself, talking to people. Go to those events, and also like bring drinks and snacks and whatever when you go there, and start talking to people. Like I used to give talks to different pond groups in our area on just like how to treat algae and all just different things, and that got us out there a lot more. You can do little programs at your your shop or whatever. Just there's a lot of different things you can do for free. Especially when you're getting started. So I definitely check out those.
Sponsor your kid's baseball team.
Yeah.
Wear your coat, your hoodie, your shirts everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Build a relationship with your suppliers. Okay?
Yeah.
Build a relationship with your suppliers, because you know where I get most of my work from are all my suppliers. Okay? The stone place up the street from me, if I know without a shadow of a doubt, if a homeowner walks in there and asks for a contractor, okay, for somebody to help them install a flagstone patio, I know without a shadow of a doubt that my card is going to be handed to those people. And I've worked my ass off to be able to do that. And it doesn't take years. You can do that within a year.
Yep.
Okay? You can do that within a season. You can, every time you get a sale from them, take them a pizza. Okay? And I don't give a shit about the owners. The owners of these supply companies I don't care about. You know who I care about? Are the people working the front desk. That's who I talk to. That's who I give the hats to. That's who if I buy donuts for them, which I do on a regular basis, I will fill my truck to the brim with donuts and drive around and hand them out to all my suppliers. And I'll walk in and the owner will be like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "These aren't for you. These aren't for you. These are for your employees." Okay? And that's what it is. And it's not free because you still have to buy the donuts. But if you're talking about a sprinkler supply company, that's a local sprinkler supply company that's been established in your area for 20 to 30 years, I know that 80% of the people in here can think of one in their area that isn't Site One, that isn't Ewing, that is an actual local sprinkler supplier. Okay? Get in with them. All right? Because when somebody in your area Googles sprinklers, okay, their name is going to pop up. And they're going to call that store. They're going to see that they've been there for 20 years. And you can piggyback off of their longevity, off of their the name that they've built for themselves, as long as you treat them right.
Yeah.
Okay? You treat their employees right. Piggyback off of it, and just use it to your advantage and treat them right.
Yeah. We had a person ask, "How did you get over the big leap of leaving the guys alone on the job?"
I was tired, man, and I couldn't do it anymore. It was just something simple. I like that better. Anyway, but
we can do that.
It was really just a matter of I just had other things to do, and it just wasn't wasn't gonna work. And also too, I think it kind of really came down to like pulling weeds. I hate pulling weeds. It sucks. I don't like digging trenches. I just don't. I don't like raking dirt. I hate raking dirt. And so I just, I was gonna be there and handle everything. And I knew that with a proper checklist, that either my team was going to accomplish it and have it be right, or they weren't going to accomplish it and it was going to be wrong. But I gave them the tools necessary for them to do it right.
Yep.
And so I held them accountable.
That, like you said, using the checklist, having some kind of work order, like especially like a drawing too, just even if it's sketched out on a piece of paper, not to scale, just have some kind of drawing that they can follow. They know how to install the plants, but having a work order, it lists everything out that they have to do for that day, is huge. And honestly, for me, I would get the guys going in the morning, like especially if it's a new crew. I'm getting the crew leader adjusted. I would go out there to the job, get them going. I would go sit in my truck. I had a desk I put in my truck. I would sit there and work on my estimates, and the guys would stay on the job site, work. If they had questions, they can come to me. But I want to entitle them to try to figure out the problems themselves. I don't want to be the problem solver. They need to try to use their own brains and how to figure it out. Because I'm paying you as a crew leader. You need to, because if I have to be there and micromanage you, I don't need you. I don't want you. I don't want to be a micromanager. So you have to empower them to be able to try to take care of whatever the situation is.
Yep.
I'll be there if you need it, but to me, I just sat in the truck and I did that for a few jobs, and I started, okay, I'm gonna go do this estimate real quick, and I'll come back, check on you a little bit later, and just slowly you're kind of weaning yourself off, and that's what I did, and that worked out well for me.
Yeah. I think too, I mean, some more practical advice that isn't just shouting off the same thing. So honestly, when I first started doing things like this or building up to this, I'd be at the jobs in the mornings for 2 or 3 hours. I'd leave to go do a quote and an estimate, and then I'd come back to the job site to get things wrapped up for the day. Okay. So basically what's happening is I'm splitting my time, whatever it is, 33%, 33%, 33%. So I'd be there in the morning a third, I'd leave for a third, and I'd be at the end of the third. Okay. And slowly I've whittled that away to only be there. I've talked about it before, 10-80-10, where I'm there for the first 10% of the day, I leave for the middle 80% of the day, and then I come back for the last 10% of the day. Okay, and now that's whittling away even more to where it's 10-80-10, but that's for the entire job. I'm there for the first 10% of the job, okay, to get them going. I leave for the middle 80% of the job, and then I'm around for the last 10% of the job. So in that way, I'm still the business owner. I still need to speak with my clients every once in a while. But even that's starting to whittle away. So you got to build up for it. Just like building culture in your company, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Just mundane tasks that you don't need to be doing. And if you're worried about if your client comes out and wants to speak to them, then go over with your team what they should say. Okay, my guys know that if they hand out a price for anything, I'm going to take them behind the shop and beat them with the hose. Okay, and they know it. That's what it is. They know. It happened just the other day. Somebody came out and talked to one of my guys, and he told me, he's like, well, they were asking me like how much this was and how much that was, and he's like kept telling him no and kept telling him no. He's like, well, you can talk to Alec. You can talk to Alec. He's like, they finally went inside, and I had to look at Wyatt, and I'm like, dude, I didn't want to give him a price. I knew Alec was going to beat me. And it's just, it's a culture thing. Yeah. I'm not going to beat my employees. Please don't call anybody. But, it's just what it is. They know we're a team and we're meshed together. And, I got a guy with me that is the complete opposite of me. As far as the way that I operate. So I'm super OCD and he's super get after it. And then I got a guy that's really good with customer service skills, but he needs to work on his landscaping skills. Okay. And it's just, once I finally started playing to their strengths and utilizing those things, it makes it easier to step away, know that things are going to get done.
So we had another guy said, person. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. My main guy sometimes rigs stuff. He's very good, like very good, but sometimes cuts corners that I don't like. What should I say to him?
I had this conversation the other day.
Oh, there you go.
I did, yes. So I'm very particular about our valve boxes. Okay, and I'm gonna bring up the guy on my team that is the get it done guy. We all know that guy. He's when he shows up, he's like, just get this shit done so we can go home. Okay, but I'm the meticulous one. I'm like, okay, well, we need to measure this and get this cut straight and do those things. And it's hard because there's a fine balance in between the two to keep everybody happy. But I rolled up to the job site and I looked at the valve box and it was wrong. It's just all there was to it. And he was in a hurry, but also too, it's January and cold, but no excuses. But I told him, I'm like, dude, this isn't going to work. And he kind of looked at me, and I think at that point in time, he realized that he screwed up with it. My biggest thing is I take pictures. We take a lot of pride in my work, and I stress to my guys that we're different from other companies because we will be a high-end. We are a high-end landscaping company. And I'm like, we're winning bids for projects where our quote is on average between 10 and 20% more than the other guys. And the reason for that is our craftsmanship and our attention to detail. I can't take pictures, and I told him, and then so the last sprinkler job we did, he built the valve boxes and they were beautiful. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm very particular about the way my valve boxes look, and nobody else in the area is doing it the same way. And he built them perfectly, exactly how I wanted him to build it. So I told him, I'm like, dude, I took pictures of those valve boxes that you built over at this other job. I'm putting those on the website. If somebody gets on our website and sees those boxes and then hires us, and then they walk outside and they see that box that you just put in, how do you think they would feel? Okay? And I create I kind of create a sense of ownership on the job and pride. So it's kind of my thing, create the ownership, explain to them, why you're so meticulous about these things, and just treat them as you would like to be treated. And people want to do good work.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to pussyfoot around the fact of talking to them, I'd say just talk to them. Just be like, hey man, look, we're having some quality stuff. Let's I want to try and sell this amount of work, and it's hard. We got to make sure we're keeping this up.
Makes me think back. This is probably 20, 25 years back. This is when we used to install the black vinyl edging, the little round on top and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
My dad was very particular. I mean, I get it. That's how I get it too. But it has to be, perfectly straight. And he would literally, if it wasn't straight, he would literally just grab that stuff and just rip it out, start all over. It used to make us so, so mad. And
yeah,
I get that way too. But like you said, Alec, you have to talk to your guys. You have to let them know, like, this is not acceptable work. This is why, we're a high-end residential company. And, and you have to explain to them, if you're going to continue to do this subpar work, then I have no need for you.
Yeah.
And please don't take me. I'm not trying to come out with an ass, but you have to explain to them, if they continue to do it, then it's like your child. If you can't just let them keep getting away with things, you have to explain to them and talk to them. And
all right. Clean your room or I'm selling you. Right? Turn you over to the black. No, and you're right. It's something, and you don't go out there. If it's like a reoccurring thing, the thing that I like to think of too is that you as an owner, you need to take responsibility for these things. And, if you haven't approached them about it, or you don't have procedures for them to follow, if you don't have the systems in place for these things to be, checked on, if you walk on a job site and see somebody installing a valve box wrong, okay, you can't go up to them and be like, oh, you keep doing this, I'm going to fire you. They don't have any metrics to go off of. Okay, they don't have any metrics or pictures or things the way to go off of. So you as an owner need to make sure that you make it as easy as possible for somebody to come in and do these things. Okay, and just treat them like bring them into the business, man.
Like somebody said, treat them like a human.
Yeah, treat them like a human.
Yeah, don't
Bring them
don't
into
go.
the business. I know for a fact when I showed up to the job the other day and my employee, my guy, my team, I knew he was trying to hurry up and get that done to make me happy with the time. I know it. I know for a fact. I could see it in his face, and he realized, oh, he knew it before I even said it. I opened up the lid, and I could see it on his face. Okay, your team wants to do good work. Sometimes they just need some encouragement and a little reminder every once in a while to do it. Okay.
Let's see. Sean said, shop first or team first? Apparently, I missed his other comment. I don't see it pop up here. To me, if you're trying to decide if you need to build a shop and build a team, if that's what you're asking, I would say build a team first.
How are you going to pay for the shop?
That's exactly. You got to support it. So
how are you going to pay for it? That's team.
Yep.
If you're talking about this whole chicken and the egg thing, okay, it's team. Yep. Build your team. My guys, I have a shop, man, but all my guys have keys to my houses. They know the passcode to get into my house. If we go on vacation, they come in and feed the dogs for me. I mean, it's just build that culture, that team, but team first, man. Build the team, and the team is never ending. That's the problem. I think it's never going to end, your team. Okay, but you're always going to be constantly working on it. Okay, but get a good, solid couple of guys. Okay, if you can get 2 solid guys, okay, 2 really solid guys that are your ride or die. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Your ride or die. All right. If you go down, crashing and burning, they're going to follow you to the pits of hell. Those are the 2 guys that you want on your side, ladies. Those are the 2 team people on your team that you want, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And have those ones first, then build as big a shop as you want, and then go from there because your team's never ending.
So he just popped in, just worried about neighbors and parking and supplies, materials, and equipment. Yeah, if it's at your house, I mean, I get that, but could you rent some place like a rental? I've seen people go rent storage sheds or storage things and out of that.
Yeah. You got storage sheds. You can put on Facebook. Go into your Facebook groups and type in, hey, I own a business. I'm looking to rent a piece of land somewhere, even a section of it. Okay. Because there's people out there that own an acre of land and they'll rent you a little section of it and you can keep your stuff on it. Okay. If you run an enclosed trailer, all right, a big enclosed trailer with all your tools and stuff, just take it from job to job. Okay, it's Thursday and you're starting a job on Monday. Hey, I'm going to bring the trailer over early and get it here. Yeah. You just got to kind of work around it. As far as materials go, just get better at ordering materials, so that you're not. I mean, that sounds mean to me, but I just get better at ordering materials so that they'll sharpen up your material ordering skills, man.
Yeah, well, and I get where you're coming from. I guess with you don't want to make your neighbors mad. You have to grow your business and grow it to the point. Honestly, just let it go until the neighbors start complaining, or if you have problems, then maybe they start looking. But try to grow your team first. Hire that first good 1 or 2 people, like Alex said, and then kind of go from there. But you have to have a good support behind you because you can't continue doing all on your own. I mean, you could be a solo entrepreneur the rest of your life, but you're stuck to that job all the time. You can't. To me, I don't like that, but I'd rather pay people and have them do the stuff for me. I mean, I get it. There's always issues with everything, but I don't want to be tied to the job. If I want to go on vacation for 2 weeks,
you know what? And that was my thought too, for a long time. Was the same thing. As I want to hire people to do the work for me, but after the team that I've built this year, I want to work with them, man. I mean, I want to be with them. I want them to go on vacation with me. Um, it's build your team. Yeah. Anyway, build your team. As far as the neighbors go, they can go to hell. I don't know. Move to a shittier part of town, man. I picked a spot. I got 1,000 square foot house here in the ghetto of our county. Right now, I'm staring across the street, and the guy's got 2 broken down motorhomes, and 3 vehicles parked on his grass. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, I don't have to worry about all my stuff, but
Put up a
but
fence,
yeah.
block it all. Somebody said, "How do you deal with wanting to buy new stuff versus needing it?" Well, I mean, if you don't need it, then you don't need to buy it, I guess. If you can
Don't
buy
buy
a
shit you
project,
don't need. Save your money, man.
if you
Save
can,
your money. Don't buy if you don't need it. Go rent it.
well, yes, you've
Yeah.
done that for many years, right? You rented.
I've been in business for 10, 11 years, and this in 2020, at the end of 2020 is when I bought my first Mini X. And I bought my first dump trailer last year. So it's okay to rent. How do you deal with wanting to buy new stuff versus needing it?
Uh,
I don't understand it.
I don't know if you, like I said, if you don't need it, then don't buy it, because you need, if you're looking to buy equipment, that needs to be out there on the job somewhere making money. You can't buy stuff and just let it sit around. So
Yeah.
they say about 50% of the time it should be at least out there, but there's no need to buying something and just have it sitting around. Um,
Buy the best that you can afford at the time.
yeah,
That's all I can say about that. Buy the best you can afford at the time. I highly suggest everybody to go get a line of credit at their local credit union or local bank, and start off small. So I started off at the beginning of 2020 with a $250. I was like 500 or 750. Yeah, they gave me $750 line of credit, and now I'm well over 10,000.
there you go.
I mean, and now I can buy stuff that I need, and that's how I bought my dump trailer. So I buy it and then I use it, and it was paid off within a few months. So
Justin Dryman said, "If you use subs, ask to use it."
that tools.
Yeah.
See if you can use it. Who's using subs as a landscaper?
Like, we subbed out irrigation and we subbed out landscape lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did irrigation for about 2 years, and it just wasn't our thing. Like, we did it.
Yeah.
I know how to do it, but.
So did you sub it out as far as you collected over 20%?
Yeah.
And subbed it out to somebody, and you made a decent profit on it?
Yeah, we jack it up, and
okay.
They would cut us a deal because we just kept them, and we kept the same company, to maintain our commercial properties too. So
yeah.
we didn't do any of that stuff. Like I said, we did about 2 years. We tried it. Didn't work out for us. We subbed out our landscape lighting, and it worked out well for us. Because we wanted to focus on hardscapes and water features. That was our thing. So we focused on that. Like if landscape lighting, they broke something, I'd go patch it up or whatever. If they needed one extra light, I'd do that. But I'm not, for a whole lot job, I'll have somebody else come do it. It worked out for us.
Yeah. There you go.
Sean said he subs out irrigation and brickwork. Is about what I sub out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Subspecialty work that doesn't fall in your core business, less than 20 to 30%. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I don't use a lot of subs. I don't know. I guess I don't really call them subs. I just have buddies that do that stuff. I just pass it off to them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I probably could. I'm probably missing out on a couple of bucks here and there. Being able to facilitate the work, but
that's either that or you don't. I don't do that type of work. I mean, you can see that.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a whole project and they need irrigation, I'll just bid it in and just oversee it. Now, don't get me wrong. We've had our issues with subbing things out. I've had, we went through a couple different companies before we found a company that we really like. But it's like having another crew. You just have to oversee it. Make sure they understand your expectations and
kind of have the right things in place to be able to take care of it. So, all right, man.
All right. think we'll wrap it up. It's about an hour here.
Yeah.
Over an hour, so.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll be back next week. So, yeah, I don't know. If anybody's going to take anything from this today, treat, stop with the employee thing and start treating them like a team.
Yeah.
Trust them.
Yeah.
Build a team. Don't build employees.
Yeah.
Hey, build a team.
Trust is the big one.
Yeah, trust them. You gotta build with them, work with them, man. Sit down, take them to lunch one day this week. Okay, take the guy that you think is gonna be the guy. Your ride or die. Okay, take him to lunch. Okay, just bullshit with him. See what he likes to do. Go hang out with him.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Alec. Thanks for joining us. You guys have a great night. We appreciate it. We'll be back next Sunday at 5 p.m. Same thing, same channel, same bat channel. How's it going?
Later.
See you guys.
Hey, man.
Everyone. Bye.